Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We got a DoorDash story for you today. Let's talk about the worst order I've gotten so far. So, I haven't yet talked about, at least not at the time of recording. Maybe I'll have made a video about this by the time this video goes up. But at the time of recording, I haven't talked about the areas that I live in and deliver in yet. But suffice it to say, it's pretty small. They're pretty small towns. And so I decided one day to try to go down an hour plus to what I would consider an actual big town, big city, which is Peoria, Illinois. And I went to go drive down there. And a lot of the stuff that I had learned from my area was not exactly a one-to-one translation to the Peoria area. Case in point, in my nearby town, my local town, the Hy-Vee has a deli counter inside, and I've gotten multiple orders from there, and I go in and I pick it up, and it's pretty painless. Worst part is finding a parking spot, because it's usually pretty full. But the actual process, not bad. Well, we got this grocery pickup order. I say we. I had my sister with me at this particular time. We had this grocery pickup from Hy-Vee in Peoria. And so we go to Hy-Vee, and I'm looking for a parking spot. Of course, it's packed. It's a Sunday. Middle of the day. Early. I think it was before noon. But like 11 o'clock or so. Found a spot. Went in and checked the directions of where I was supposed to go. And it says to look for a yellow container, I think it said. A yellow container near some gas station. And that's where the grocery pickup was. So I have, no idea what's going on here. I'm like, okay, clearly this is different than the Hy-Vee where I'm from. So we pull out of the parking spot. We're driving around the parking lot. We notice there are gas tanks behind the store, so we drive back there. Don't see any kind of yellow container over there. I kind of pull off and stop and check the directions again. Drive up around to the front of the store where we were before, but farther back in the lot. And I see the gas station that it's talking about. I forget what it was called, but it had the name of it. And I see that. And apparently what they meant by a yellow container was this big shipping container that was a light cream color. I would not call it yellow on any day of the week. It was a light cream color. I'm like, I guess that's it, right? And so we pull up. There are 3 other cars sitting out there. No employees in sight. And it says in the directions that you just pull up there, and it said like, a friendly smile will greet you, or an employee with a friendly smile will greet you. It didn't say to call a number. It didn't say to contact it. It said people will come out. So we pull in. There's 3 other cars sitting there. No employees in sight. No one's coming out to us. So I call. They've got signs with numbers for you to call, right? So I call the number on the sign. It goes to a voicemail, and the voicemail box is full. Right? So this number that they have provided me with, no one's manning the station. So then I use the app to call the main store. And they answer, and I tell them, I'm like, hey, I'm out here by this grocery pickup. I got this pickup. No one's answering the phone out here. There's no employees out here. And they ask me some questions. I'm like, there's literally no one out here. And they're like, okay, well, I'll contact the manager. I'm just like, what? And so we're sitting there and nothing's happening. And then after several minutes, one employee starts coming from the store wheeling this huge cart, like not a cart, like a shelf on wheels with all these different container bins on it. And I'm just like, this better be our stuff, right? This better have our stuff on it. Because with DoorDash, the longer you're waiting for stuff, the fewer orders you're going to get, right? You want to get orders done quickly so you can get more orders. And this lady pulls this thing over and goes to one of the other 3 cars that were there before us. By this point, there's 2 more cars that have pulled up. Nobody's making contact with them either. And we proceeded to sit and watch for the next several minutes as everything from that shelf is all put into this one vehicle. So I was hoping that this shelf was stuff for everybody that was out there waiting. No, this whole shelf was just for one vehicle. And there's 2 other vehicles that were there before us. And so at that point, we had been at the Hy-Vee for almost 30 minutes between getting there, checking the directions, trying to find the place, calling the one number that didn't work, calling the other number, sitting and waiting to see what would happen. It was almost 30 minutes. And so at that point, I was like, nah, I'm out. I got a sign from it. I drove away, and I'm like, we are not coming back to this Hy-Vee anymore. And we didn't. So that is the story of why I will never accept an order from Hy-Vee in Peoria, Illinois. I have continued to take them from my local town, and that has continued to be fine. But in Peoria, no sir. So that's today's story. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.